All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to hear our comments regarding the latest information relative to the City of Phoenix relationship with the FAA as it relates to the departure procedures outside Sky Harbor Airport. Standing with me today are Council members Michael Nowakowski, Councilwoman Laura Pastor. I asked both of them to be here with me because the districts that they represent are disproportionately affected by the flight path changes that the FAA implemented late last year. So I want to thank them for being there. They'll have a few comments in just a moment. I also want to thank our former Congress member, Ed Pastor, who volunteered his time to serve on the FAA working group to try to examine some of these very important issues. His leadership, his advocacy on behalf of the people of the City of Phoenix is very much appreciated, as it always have been. As mayor of the city, I have tried, and Phoenix has tried, to work with the FAA in good faith. But thus far, it has been a one-way street. Our efforts to work together to reach a common sense solution to an unacceptable situation for the people of our community has not been returned. We as a city have offered solutions. Those have been repeatedly rejected. It is now apparent that the FAA does not have the intent, has zero intent, of solving serious noise issues that affect so many of our neighborhoods in Phoenix. The FAA has shown us that it believes that it is a federal agency, that it is not appropriately accountable to the people of this community. It has abused the process. It has undermined the trust that we have in the FAA's local officials. I have always said throughout this process that we would reserve litigation as a last resort option. I believe that we are nearing that last resort. So I believe that our professional city staff should take the steps necessary to prepare to sue the FAA as soon as May 1st. And I, as mayor, am prepared to use that option as necessary to support the people of the City of Phoenix. We are going to pursue other options as well. We will pursue the option of working with airlines that fly in and out of Sky Harbor Airport to work on possible voluntary solutions to this unacceptable dilemma for the people of the City of Phoenix. The City of Phoenix will, of course, unite with other cities that have been unfortunately impacted by this new next-gen procedure, so airports and cities around the country. I think Councilman Michael Nowakowski in particular will talk about our efforts to unite with other cities. Of course, we will work with the airlines and all of the relevant parties to force the FAA to do the right thing, and that includes working with our congressional delegation and, of course, the member of our delegation who represents the neighborhoods most disproportionately impacted is Congressman Ruben Gallego, who's been a champion on this issue. We will also submit Metroplex recommendations to achieve satisfactory change of current flight paths. Councilwoman Pastor will talk in more detail about that effort. And of course, we're going to enhance the noise program at Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport so that residents who are so unfortunately impacted, their quality of life so impacted in a negative way by these changes, have more resources within Sky Harbor Airport to receive those complaints and more effectively communicate them to the FAA, particularly let them know just how impactful this has been on the quality of life of Phoenix residents. Tomorrow we will have a special meeting of the City Council at 2:30 p.m. in the City Council chambers so we can hear more from the public. We can get more community input. It is unfortunate that these changes were made, had such a negative impact on the people of the City of Phoenix in a way in which significant public input was not received by the FAA due to the categorical exclusion process. That was unfortunate. They would have heard from the community, as we have heard from the community, and will continue to hear from the community, that the impact on their quality of life is simply unacceptable. With that, I'm going to hand it next over to Councilwoman Laura Pastor. She represents District 4, which represents many of the neighborhoods that have been so disproportionately impacted by these flight path changes. Councilwoman.
I'm just really disappointed in the outcome. I had great hope that with this working group, we would get to a solution. Obviously, it's not a solution. I'm very disappointed in how it was written and the fact that it is stating that Phoenix never gave any alternative routes when that is true. They just chose not to listen and not to look at them. What I have to tell you is in our community, I'm here standing strong with our community because the quality of life has diminished and the noise is definitely there. And I will continue to proceed to push forward into coming to a solution for our communities. One of the ways I'm looking at that, which is critical, is the Metroplex. Metroplex is now coming into play. We are going to need the public to come out and be involved. It's a mandatory in the Metroplex, so this is where I believe the community can have a stronger voice, and all Arizona airports will be involved in this process. So it's better for us to have greater in numbers, and so that's where I will definitely be involved in the Metroplex piece or part of the some of the voluntary procedures or some of the processes. We are nearing, as we are going to baby steps, we are nearing, and if that's our last solution to go to litigation, I will be standing strong with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman, for being such a strong leader on this issue and a passionate advocate on behalf of the residents in your district, particularly those impacted by these flight path changes. Now, next to the podium will be Councilman Michael Nowakowski. He's been a leader from day one, literally day one, as these flight path changes were implemented without an appropriate public process. So I want him to come and talk about his feelings, his position on this very unfortunate set of circumstances. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. On September 18th, our lives changed in the city of Phoenix. It doesn't matter if you live in downtown Phoenix, in our historic area, South Phoenix, Levine, North Phoenix, everyone in our city was affected by this. So we did it the Phoenix way. We went out to the community. We had meetings. We listened. And the more I listened, the more I got sick and tired of this whole process. The FAA came into our city, changed the path, and never had a meeting with anyone. Never met with the community. That's not the Phoenix way. So we took a step back and said, well, what do you all suggest? Well, we're going to create this working committee. So we chose an individual that represents not only South Phoenix, Levine, downtown, but a person that also represents our historic area, Congressman Ed Pastor. And yesterday, about 4:35, I received a letter from Glenn Martin. And he questioned, and this is where I get pissed off and mad, he questions the integrity of the city of Phoenix and our Congressman, Ed Pastor. He gave, and our staff has given them, several alternatives. And to put down in writing that we never gave them any type of alternatives is a lie. It's wrong. And don't question the integrity of the city of Phoenix or the integrity of our congressman. And now more than ever, it's time for us to come together as a city, to come together as other cities in the state of Arizona, other states that are being affected by the FAA, and say enough is enough. We all need to unite ourselves together and create a coalition of cities that are being affected throughout the country and say enough is enough with the FAA. So I want to thank the mayor for holding this meeting tomorrow at 2:30. Folks, this will probably be the meeting that you all need to be at, because tomorrow we need to make some decisions. We need to make a decision as a city of Phoenix. What are we going to do? And are we going to allow the FAA to step on us? No. I believe with the leadership of our mayor and my colleagues that we're going to make the right decision tomorrow, but we need your input. So make sure you're there tomorrow at 2:30 in our formal meeting. So thank you, Mayor, for calling this special section, and I think tomorrow we're going to have some results.